Well, it says I'm live. I've got a proper microphone hooked up this time, I think. It better work. It says it's working. Let me double check. Let me double check and make sure I've got the right microphone going. Yep, I got the right. Sound should be a lot better now than it was the last time I went live. Last time I went live, I couldn't find my little microphone, so I just used whatever my computer was picking up, and it wasn't the greatest, but I think it's better. I think the sound is better today. So we got a couple people in already. Hello, how are you? How is life? Just trying to, that's better. Trying to get my camera set up properly. And today we are talking about dream interpretation, which I will be happy to do a few dreams for people. Hello, Barb. How are you? Today's topic is dream interpretation. So we're going to talk about, we might as well talk a little bit about what is it and how it works and yada, yada, yada. And then we can talk about other things as well. Let me see if I can do that from here. No. Okay. Anyway, so how is everybody? How is life? How is everything? Ooh, just woke up from a nap. Backyard Naturalist Tarot. Hi, Peggy. Lurking and listening while I get some work done. You know what? I think a lot of people come in and just lurk and listen while they get some work done. So that'll be fun. Let's get that out of the way. I'm just trying to move. I'm trying to move stuff out of the way because I don't need my machine handy today. Obviously, but I'm still in my sewing. I'm still in my sewing area because it's the best place for me to sit. Does the sound sound okay? The last video, the last live I did, I didn't have the right microphone, so I know I had kind of crappy sound off and on. This should be this should be good sound. Ooh, drawing and painting. Are you making a tarot card for my challenge over in the group, over in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group? I want to see everybody's second best effort. I want to see crayons. I want to see Crayola everywhere. Hi, Free Spirit. Oh, Aaron's here. Living our best life. Yeah. Okay, sound is good. Yeah, last time people could hear me, but there was this weird... If I was lurking, you'd know it because I'd be extra creepy. Oh, yeah. Like, obviously. Obviously. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. So, hi, Kate. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Ooh, 9 whole people. I am rocking it today. I never do these expecting a giant crowd. It's kind of more fun. It's kind of more fun. These are kind of more fun when there's a smaller group because I don't know, just more mayhem happens, I guess. I don't know. However you want to say it, right? Decaf, for those of you that were concerned about I did my last, most of you guys saw I had a great big giant Diet Coke with me. That was my last hurrah. I have been caffeine free since. So yeah, no caffeine free. I'm so happy about that. So I found an article. I don't know if it's a good article or not a good article. And I thought we could go over, this is on Psych Central. I just thought we could go over some basics because we all have our own idea what dream interpretation is. I think that most of our dreams are just dreams. It's our brain decompressing the day. But I do think we have dreams that have a lot of information to pass on, tell us something, this is something you need to be aware of in the future. This is something that's going on right now. They can help you sort out what's going on in your own head. Yeah, caffeine free is hard, but worth it. Yeah, I'm not really. Basically, caffeine, if you have blood pressure issues, caffeine makes your blood pressure go up. So my doctor keeps telling me I should be off of caffeine. So problem is when I got COVID back in January, I was so derpy and dopey and sleepy all the time that caffeinated drinks were the only thing keeping me functional. And that was just barely. So it's like, But it's like, okay, we're going into March. I'm not sick anymore. The excuses are gone. Let's get me back off of caffeine. So anyway, I don't really know that there's going to be a lot. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of fun photos to show you guys. People don't get pictures of their dreams, but I thought we would go over this. And if anybody has a dream, obviously, hello, Moira. And obviously, nobody's obligated to share anything that they don't want to share. But if anybody has a recurring dream, if anybody wants to take a shot, I'm more than willing. Yeah, caffeine is my lifeline these days, Barb says. That's what I'll tell you right now. COVID was so exhausting. I don't know how to describe it because we weren't really all that sick. We really, yeah, I've got, this is decaf. Neither Lisa or I were all that sick, but I already have like really bad insomnia. So I'll be I'll sleep till noon. Right. I've been doing better though, but no, like, so when you get sick with anything, even just a common cold, you get super, super derpy and sleepy all the time. And it was really messing me up. And it's like, oh, just give me something with caffeine in it and then snap your fingers. Caffeine's actually technically addictive. I mean, it doesn't get you high. I guess it could if you had enough of it, but it wakes you up, right? So it was, it's like, that's how I was functioning while I was waiting for that shit to go away. And then I mentioned in passing, I've mentioned more than once because I bitch about things, but then getting the cough, the after effect cough, up all night coughing, it's like, yeah, I'm not going off caffeine anytime soon until I can get back to normal. But I picked up some antihistamines, so some 1-a-day antihistamines again, so I'll be fine. Yeah, caffeine and sugar. I'm not supposed to have either. Decaf sugar free. I'm just telling myself it's doing something for me, but anyway. So one of the reasons why I decided that dream interpretation was an interesting topic to discuss as a metaphysical thing. Ooh, Barb has a strange recurring dream. It's probably something creepy, isn't it, Barb? One of the reasons why I wanted to add dream interpretation is because A, it's kind of my thing, so why not, right? But also because it's like tarot fits in the same category of metaphysical stuff for the same reasons that dream interpretation does. And we don't really talk about dream interpretation much. Because you can just go buy a book. Oh, the book says this is what's going on. The book says this is what's going on. And I've found that the book can give you general ideas. Yeah, that's usually when there's a message. The dream can be different, but there's always something that's the same. It's like, why is this always the same? What's the part that's the same? Yep, Dish Barb, you started it. I'll be right back. Both of the monsters are settled in, so they'll be fine. In the dream, I could never find a clean private toilet. Interesting. Now, are you angry, frustrated? How do you feel when that happens? I mean, I have some thoughts already. That's got toilets are always lined up in a row and it looks like no one has flushed them for days. So basically, something as simple as a bathroom is a basic resource, right? So there is some anxiety on your part about there's some anxiety on your part. Well, okay, I don't want to say anxiety because whatever an emotion you're feeling, do you have a similar emotion whenever you go in? Everything's, are you angry? Are you sad? Are you anxious? Whatever emotion you're having, right? So you've got some basic. There is a basic amenity in life, a basic thing that you should have no problem accessing. That is either causing a problem or you're concerned. Like, okay, we go out, we go shopping, we go to the mall, right? We don't always have to stop in and use the washroom, right? So it's not that you have this, it's not that there is a resource that you need to access, but there is some underlying concern that there is a resource that you either are anxious about accessing, that you are concerned you may need to access, and there is this, I don't want to, let me see. I want to explain this properly because it really does a lot of whatever emotion you were having at the time, right? So like anger, anxiety, whatever. But so there is a common resource that you are aware that you Yeah, frustrated and grossed out because I need to pee and the toilets are disgusting. So yeah, you're upset. You're upset and disgusted. This should be available to me, and it's not. This is disgusting. I'm unhappy. I'm upset. So there is a basic resource in your world that whether or not you need to access it, you're pretty confident that if and when you do need to access that resource, somebody's going to it's going to be fucked up. Not somebody. You're walking into a public place. Now, if there's somebody there that's literally flinging poo around, right, then that's a different problem. So so like maybe it's like you're thinking about opening up a new credit card and you're pretty confident that you're not going to get the credit card in spite of people around you with lower credit scores having no problem getting a credit card. So it's not necessarily, it's not about the fact that it's not the fact about that it's about the toilet. It might be revolving around issues of cleanliness. Maybe you want to go swimming at the local beach and you can't because the water's contaminated. So it's a resource that should be easily available to you that's not, and it's really upsetting you. And that's kind of what this is about. And now you have to figure out what resource in your world, what thing in your world that should be simple and easy to get a hold of is for some reason coming with conditions, coming with issues, not as easy or straightforward as it should be. And that's the thing that you need to explore. That's the basics of it. That's the basics of what that dream means. I mean, there's no specific, like I said, a bathroom, a publicly available bathroom should be clean, easy, accessible, simple. And when it's not, you're like, who's fucking, why are somebody ruining it for everybody else type of thing. There's never anyone else in these bathrooms, but I'm always worried that someone will walk in if I do find a toilet that is much cleaner than the others. Yeah. So basically it's related to, like I said, it's related to some resource in your world that should be easy and simple and whatever. And it's currently fucked up in some way or another. And you're upset, justifiably so, because this should not be the problem that it's turning itself into. And you're concerned. And again, there's never anyone else in these bathrooms, but I'm always worried that someone will walk in if I do find a toilet that is much more cleaner than the others. Like, so basically this should be a simple no-brainer situation over here. And yet if you find a way to make it better for yourself, somebody else is going to have a fucking problem with you if you do. And like I said, I can't tell you what the toilet itself is representing without diving deeper into what else is going on in your world. But yeah, so something that should be simple and easy is being made incredibly difficult, and you're getting incredibly pissed over it. And you're in a situation where if you find a way to make it easy for yourself, then that could blow up in your face too. You're worried, you're worried about finding a toilet that's cleaner than the others. Like that should not be a concern, right? It's like if this is the be all and end all of your dream, it's like finding a cleaner toilet that you can use shouldn't come with a consequence or any emotions on your side. So it doesn't necessarily get to the bottom of anything that's going on for you, but once you can identify what the toilet in your current situation is, it'll be a lot easier to go, okay, this is what's going on. This is why I'm feeling it, and shake off that feeling that just because you found a better way, cleaner toilet, does not mean that somebody else has the right to have a fucking problem with you over it. It's like, practice a little bit of that whole going, hey, not my problem that nobody else wants to clean up after themselves. Yeah, noting your strong emotions. Now, that was my second question, and I totally skipped it. This is what happens. Like when Lisa tells me a dream, I will get her to tell me the whole thing before I'll say a word. When you wake up, are you thinking of any particular person, place, situation that has recently or that you anticipate causing you a bit of stress? You've had that dream for over 10 years. So that dream over 10 years basically is, let me just go back. I think I might change my mind. This is why I listen to Lisa from beginning to end before I say anything. And I make this mistake every single time. I try to start answering immediately, and it's like, that's not quite this. Okay, same situation applies. But honestly, if you've been having this dream for 10 years, then this toilet just simply represents your right to be somewhere, your right to take up space, your right to have expectations, and your right to have them met. So this has got to do with basically disappointment, right? People place in situations that disappoint you, and you end up, and you are, people place in situations that disappoint you, but you're still walking around. If I do find the toilet that's cleaner than the others, that you're worried that somebody will walk in if you do find a toilet that's better than the others. Yeah. Basically, the shit is that you walk in and you see a dirty bathroom and you find your way to the cleanest toilet. You still feel like you have to give it up if somebody else walks in and needs it. This is your dream. I'm gonna change my mind about individual situations. Like I said, this is my own mistake. I do this way too often. Listen to the whole thing and then think about it. That's the number one mistake of dream interpretation. The toilet means this. The poop means this. This means this. I just made that mistake myself. So basically, what I'm looking at here for you, Barb, because this is an ongoing dream, and this matters, and I should have asked you, is this an ongoing dream or is it new? You've had this dream for 10 years. So basically, yeah, this is what your dream is about, is you finding yourself in literally a shitty situation, and you still, what did I do? You find yourself in a shitty situation and then find yourself feeling stressed about the idea that somebody else, if you take the clean toilet, then somebody else is left with nothing. So you're literally, yeah, I was too excited to get started. You go, okay. Anybody who's hung out with me while I'm sewing knows how I get ahead of myself on the regular. This is how I live my life. Okay. But yeah, so your dream is about your feelings about, you walk in and something's not the way it should be, but then you find a way to fix it for yourself, and you feel bad about anybody else who's going to come in and not be able to fix it for themselves. And the reality is that that's not your problem. So making yourself responsible for other people's, why did that do that? Sorry, the thing popped up. So that is, that's the shit that needs to be flushed. It's not like you should stop caring about anybody else, but sometimes you need to put you need to find a better balance when it comes to prioritizing your own needs. And to recognize that you're allowed to prioritize, you're allowed to be disgusted with what's going on around you. Make your own path of your, okay, this is all full of shit. There's a clean toilet, I'm going over here, and not feel obligated to help somebody else, or to, I don't want to say not feel obligated to help somebody else, but if somebody else then walks in and goes, oh, is that the only clean toilet? It's not your job to stand back and go, yeah, you can have it. You can go, well, I'm not going to mess it up. So you can have it when I'm done with it. Yeah, I just need to move to Disneyland and Sleeping Beauty's castle. So that's the thing. That's the thing that this dream is telling you. This dream is telling you not to let other people's lack of impact you, and to not feel guilty about it, because you're having a feeling. You're scared that somebody might come in and notice it's a clean toilet. It's like, you don't need to be scared of that. You're on your, you're already there. It's yours now. Yeah, prioritizing your needs. Yes. Sorry, Michelle, I'm going to skip back over here. That's exactly what it is. I'm hoping I can prioritize my needs. Don't hope. Stop hoping. That's why you're having the dreams. You hope you can prioritize your needs. It's like, you need to prioritize your needs and not just hope that you can make it happen. Hope that you can find a clean toilet in the bathroom. Hope that somebody else doesn't come in and need it first. You need to say, nope, I've been really busy with all this stuff. So if you need something from me, you're going to have to fucking wait. It's my turn. It is my turn to use the clean toilet, right? That's basically what your dream is telling you. I will say that usually with a recurring dream like that, the more often you have it, the more present and current a situation is that required that is going on. Like if this is a tendency that you've been dealing with for 10 years, then every time you are in that situation, like you said, I'm hoping I can prioritize my needs. If you're having that dream more often, then your dream is telling you absolutely don't sit on a dirty toilet. But anyway, who's next? I have a recurring dream, not often, just every now and again, about being in a large building that changes every time. Often I know Often I know, like you do in dreams, that it's my old car. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's something about this is changing all the time, and it's your college dream. Okay, so number one, have you been having this dream since college? You said now and again, but how often? How often over a period of years is not often. Now the interrogation begins. And are you thinking about any particular? Okay, it's your old college dorm. Are you waking up? Are you like, what is your emotion at the time, right? And are you thinking about any particular people, place, situation? Are you okay? Say there was some asshat back in college. I'm just making an example, right? Say there was some asshat back in college that you just fucking hated. You hated them, they hated you, yada yada yada. And every time you have this dream, you wake up and you're thinking about one of your coworkers that you're not really fond of. Then that could be your dream telling you, well, this person is giving you this same energy. I will say nostalgia dreams are very, very normal, very, very normal and very, very common. So there's that. Having a recurring dream about being in a large building that changes every time. Often I know, like you do in dreams, this is my old college dorm. Positive emotions generally. Yeah, like, okay, if college and university for you is generally a positive experience and you had a good time, then it's generally, obviously it's all generalizing, because the very, very specifics, you have to look into your own life experience and figure that part out, right? Generally speaking, when you have a dream like that, it's your hindbrain saying to you, hey, things are going pretty good right now. You can just sit back, relax, smell the roses for a bit. Even if you've got a lot of stuff going on, even if you've got a lot of stress going on, it's like, it's a reminder to remember. It's a reminder to remember. God, I'm so good at this. It's a reminder that you should just kind of, especially if you're having the dream when you're stressed out, then it's a reminder to sit down and go, okay, you're stressing out about this, but everything else around you is pretty good. So you're going to be okay. That's you when those dreams are coming at you with positive emotions, then it's like, yeah, just like in college when things were pretty good and you felt good about things. Yeah, you had some stressful shit happening, but everything was, exams, tests, studying, and it paid off and things were good. So basically, when these types of dreams happen with positive emotions attached, then it's reminding you of the positive. If it was a positive experience, then you're waking up with positive emotions now. It's reminding you that whatever's going on in your life right now that's stressing you out, it's temporary. It'll be fine. It'll pay off. Things will be okay. That's usually what a dream like that would mean when you're wrapping it around positive energy. Yeah. But sometimes you have these dreams. Sometimes these dreams don't make sense because it's like, oh my God, I've got all this shit going on. Like all this horrible, all this stuff that is just making me pissy is happening. It's kind of like, when you draw the tower and the 10 of cups at the same time. It's like, what the fuck is so special about the tower, right? So if you draw the tower, it's like, oh my God, all this shit's going on, but you know it's going to work out. That is what the tarot equivalent of this dream is. And it doesn't necessarily mean everything's amazing, everything's happy, everything's great right this second, but it's reminding you that that's where it's going to head to. Lucid dreams. When you know in a dream that you're dreaming. I have had lucid dreams, lots of them in the past, tons of lucid dreams in the past. I don't really lucid dream too much these days, but my thoughts on lucid dreams are usually, because even when you're lucid dreaming, and I don't want to use the word, let's use the word grandiosity. When you are lucid dreaming, you are usually having some sort of a grandiose, like in the real world, I'm minding my own business and somebody walks up and goes, give me all your money. It's like, okay, here you go. Not a problem. Not going to fight. Don't touch me. Don't hurt me. Right? In a lucid dream, somebody walks up and goes, give me all your money. And suddenly you're fucking Superman. Lucid dreaming lets you explore the things that you wish you'd done, the things that you wish you could do, would do, were capable of doing. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. So lucid dreaming creates a situation, and then once you reach the lucid dreaming state, you're kind of able to explore. And then when you wake up, this is the part that matters. So you're doing this stuff in lucid dreaming. When you wake up, like I said, in the real world, somebody puts a gun to my face and says, give me your money. I am cooperating. I am doing whatever the hell they want. in my lucid dreaming, I turn into Superman. But in the in-between stages, what realistically, like, I don't know how to express this, but it's interesting. Dreaming is about experiencing it, and it's not necessarily translates into being able to explain it. But lucid dreaming gives you an opportunity to explore things in your life. And sometimes if you go straight to, I'm Superman and I'm going to do this, then you're just, then it could be just an adventure dream. But then you need to explore, what was the dream about? What was your transitional period before the grandiosity style fantasy land popped up and started taking over? So your ability to remember the entire dream, your ability practicing at, this was the dream, this is where I was kind of starting to wake up and becoming more and more aware, and this is where I took over and started controlling the dream. And exploring that kind of helps you explore your, like, I've personally never had a lucid dream. I've never had a lucid dream involve circumstances that came true, but I have found that lucid dreamings really gives you a way to explore whatever thoughts or feelings you're having about a current situation. And like I said, like, if I'm not going to have a lucid dream that I punched some robber in the face and then go out and do that if I ever find myself in trouble, because that doesn't make a lot of sense. But what did I dream about in between? What was the in-between stage where I was starting to wake up and go, oh, well, if I'd have done this, I bet you I wouldn't have got robbed. Oh, maybe if I'd have done that. Oh, maybe if I'd have done that. So those are the things that you want to explore as the dream. And then from there, you're just like, if in your dream you negotiated, if in your dream, if you feel like your dream went straight to Fantasyland, grandiose, whatever, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But if in the lucid portion of your dreaming, you felt that you were being very rational, reasonable, very had your shit together or whatever, then you look at that dream and you go, what? Okay, negotiate. I negotiated with the guy, got him to put down the gun, yada, yada, yada. It's like, oh, well, maybe that's a skill maybe my dream is, your dream is telling you that's a skill that you should work on. Your dream is telling you that, oh, well, if I'd have been paying better attention to my surroundings, I would have spotted this guy and crossed the street. So there's elements that you can learn from your lucid dreaming, but those elements usually come from, for me at least, at some point, it's like, ooh, I'm Superman, let's go. And then it turns into an adventure, right? So it's before that. It's that stage before that. What rational, reasonable things were you exploring before you came more and more awake to start? Did I say it right? I think I said it right. Learning a lucid dream, yeah. Learning a lucid dream was the only way I could sleep without anxiety as a child, but I couldn't fully control it, but more like alter them. Instead of flying away from danger, I was able to float. Exactly. And then there's this stage, if you continue to wake up, then there's this stage where you kind of, you turn into Superman. It's an adventure movie and you're the star. And it's, everything that happened before that stage is definitely worth exploring. And it's worth exploring. This is what's going on. Moira adds, I find in lucid dreams I can initiate doing something I want to do, like skating, but I can't control the dream completely. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm doing way better, but it's allergy season here, and I just started taking antihistamines like 2 days ago. So I still got to go up and give my nose a little blow every now and again. Yeah, lucid dreamers do that to you a lot. In your lucid dreams, you're doing something you want to do, like skating, but you can't control the dream completely. So what's happening at that point? This is back to your emotions. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying it? Are you more afraid than excited? And this can help you sort out. This can help you sort out whether or not, like, okay, like if I dream about skydiving, I'm just scared to death. Skydiving is not for me. Having lucid dreams about skydiving are not going to help me want to do I always use skydiving. I think this is a little messed up. It's a little, oh, it's bouncing off my glasses. So lucid dreaming can help you discover whether or not something that's going on. It can literally help you have a slightly more conscious dream about things that you should or shouldn't be doing. But yeah, it's definitely an opportunity to explore things. I'm familiar with my own lucid dreams. I try not to interpret lucid dreaming, because lucid dreaming, you're going to inject part of your own wants, needs, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and you're going to inject that into those things. But like I said, if I have a dream about skydiving, I'm not going to wake up going, "Ooh, I should try that," right? If you have a dream about like skating, and you're really freaked the fuck out because you cannot control it completely, if you wake up miserable, upset, whatever, it doesn't mean that skating is not for you, but it means that skating right now is not for you. It means that if you decide that you're going to go skating, you're going to want to bring along somebody who can help you. You're going to want to be more careful about how you proceed. But if it's like, "Wee, this is great, this is awesome," it's like, yeah, you're worrying over nothing, and you're probably going to have a good time. Yeah, that's a very classic fear of falling. Fear of falling, like skating. You're up on your skates. You're doing this. Something doesn't work. You always, if you've ever watched hockey and seen those guys walking out with all their concussions, right? So yeah, it's very classic. So in the lucid dreaming, the idea is, and if you practice this enough, if you I don't know, meditate on it, whatever works for you, you can in the lucid dream and go, "Okay, this is silly. Now, how do I get away from those stairs?" And then pay attention to what pops up to get you away from those stairs, right? Well, I'm just going to stay along the edge and hold on to something until I get comfortable. That's how most people learn to skate. You put on your skates, you get out there on the rink, and then you hang on to the boards and you do this and you drag yourself around and around. But yeah, it's lucid dreaming. I find lucid dreaming interesting. I'm not nearly as good with lucid dreaming as I am with other kinds. Yeah, I used to skate as a kid. There's no way you could get me to skate now. No, I'm turning 60 this year. I am not breaking a hip. It's like I was never a great skater. I had fun. I didn't care. I was never a great skater. That was fine. Now that I'm a little older and things are a whole lot more rickety, it's like, but yeah, I think if I had a dream about skating, I'd find myself at the top of the stairs going, "I don't know what to do next." I'd be in the same boat. Let's take a look at this one. I've had other recurring dreams that's super obvious. Every time I've run a marathon, I've had a stress dream beforehand about being late to start. Totally. That is totally. Those types of recurring dreams. Now, I will say, those types of recurring dreams are predictable. They're obvious, but you know what they also are? They're a learning tool. It's like, okay, this is my fear. This is what's going on. How am I feeling? What's going on around me? Right? These can be these types of dreams. Document them anyway. If you're the kind of person that keeps a dream journal, document them anyway, because then you want to talk about your thoughts, your feelings, what happened in the dream versus did anything comparable happen during the day. Like maybe you weren't late, but there was a bunch of other people that were late, and everybody's going, "Oh my fucking God," and then you got to witness. If you got to witness other people reacting to somebody being late, of course you're going to be concerned that you're going to be late, right? But when you're having a recurring dream that's really obvious to you what it means, explore it in detail, because it will help you sort out. Because I can say, okay, I use snakes as the perfect example. If I dream about snakes, it's a bad dream. There are people, if they dream about snakes, it's like, "Oh, look at the pretty little snake," right? This is why what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and everything matters. Because if I say I had a dream about a snake, "Oh my God, that nightmare means this." Okay. Then you, who may like snakes, says, "Oh, Peggy, I had a dream about a snake," and I'm going to go, "Oh, that nightmare means that," right? But it wasn't a nightmare for you. This is why this is why people put out all these books on dreams and what they mean. And a lot of stuff makes sense. Being afraid of being late is a very stereotypical thing to dream about. And that's fine. But certain things that people dream about, like I love horses from a distance. I'm terrified of them. I'd get me too close to a horse and I'm like, "My God, that thing is big and could hurt me if it, this sort of thing, right?" So if you have a recurring dream that oh, this is a no-brainer, I know what it means. Who's in the dream? What are you thinking about when the dream happens? What are you thinking about before you go to sleep, when you wake up? Like if you wake up, if you have a dream like that and you wake up feeling absolutely relieved, right? Yeah, you'll have a nightmare tonight if you don't like this video. I knew someone who practiced transcendental meditation who had incredible lucid dream control. He would play entire classic baseball games in his dreams. That would be, yeah, I don't know. I think I've had experiences that feel like that. I think we all have experiences that feel like that, but we've talked in previous ones about getting freaked out, right? I think we've all had really, really intense, detailed dreams like that. I think we've all done it at least once. I would love to control it. It would be awesome. It would be totally awesome. Yeah, this is the problem. This is why, and like I said, this is why I apologized right off the bat to Barb. And I never apologized to Barb. She's a horrible human being. You guys know that. So anyway, no, because you got to look at the whole picture. And it's like, they're very, very personal. They're very, very personal. They're kind of, it can be easy to interpret a dream if you, like I said, like that's why the question is who, what, when, where, why. Like if every single time you dream, say there's this person you're attracted to, but every time you dream about them, they are just hideous. That's your hindbrain. Okay, that's generally speaking, from my experience, your hindbrain telling you that as much as you're interested in that person, there's some nasty shit going on in the background that you just haven't noticed yet. Or that could be, or that you need to be aware of. It could be that this person's absolutely amazing, but you need to meet their family first. This sort of thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, Barb says I'm fucking awful. Oh, we love Barb. This is why we love Barb. But anyway, but yeah, so it's like, okay, so yeah, let's use that as an example. So I'm dreaming about the same person over and over again because I've got a bit of a crush, right? We all get little crushes, no big deal. I haven't had a crush since I got married. Weird how that works. But anyway, so you're having a little crush on somebody, but whenever you dream about, whenever you keep having dreams, this person's in the dream, but they are not the good guy in your dream. That doesn't mean that there's a problem with the person. It means there's a problem though, right? Now, we automatically assume, we flip through the dream book. Oh my God, this person's wrong for me. Better put that away. That's not true. It's like, okay, you're having a crush on somebody, but you don't know them very well. Okay, that's why you're having that dream. Before you do anything about your crush, you need to get to know them better, right? And you may, because you're concerned that you're going to find out something that's just going to ruin it for everybody. Or you know them, but you've never met their family. It's like, I think you guys know where I'm going. So you can have a dream. You can have a dream that on the surface seems really, really obvious in one direction, and it may mean something completely different. And it may depend. Like, okay, like, if you have, okay, let's get back to snakes, right? If every single time I dream about this person, they turn into a snake, this might be my brain giving me a very, very strong warning. And this is how future prediction works, right? It's like, oh, this person's a fucking problem. You just don't know it yet. Here's me projecting this is what your future looks like, this sort of thing. So it gets it gets convoluted, but you know what? I think everybody here is a tarot person. Same. Oh, hi, Tammy. It's the same with tarot. When you lay down a bunch of cards and you get the Tower, I'm going to go, oh, wow, changes are coming. And I'm like this, I'm a classic Sagittarius. Ooh, there's an adventure coming up. This is okay, right? Whereas if you get somebody who is a more timid, anxious personality, they're going to go, oh my God. And it means different things depending on the person, the situation, the context, and who they are and what they are excited by. Okay. The nightmare that led me to lucid dreaming involved me falling from broken stairs that got bigger and higher. I would be dragging my broken legs and falling down over and over. That on the surface, at a glance, that looks like the very classic fear of failure. That usually has elements of that. And here I am. Oh, that usually means this. After just mouthing off about, don't automatically assume that's what it means. It's a classic fear of failure dream, and now it's that type of thing is a classic fear of failure dream, and now it's on you to figure out how that applies to you. Are you actually afraid of failure, or are you afraid of failure because you're afraid of failure, or are you afraid that if you make the right mistake, things can be so catastrophic? There's a slight difference. I'm not afraid of failure. I don't mind that. Well, just a couple days ago, ended up doing a giveaway because I fucked something up. I am not afraid of failure, but there's no fucking way I'm running a marathon because my leg won't handle it. So for me, that dream would be know your limits. You're fine. This is fine. Go up those stairs, but don't forget there are certain stairs that you should be avoiding. That's what a dream like that would mean for me. Yeah, you're being chased by a monster. So in the dream, there's like the classic fear of failure. That's what you're starting with. That's your kernel. That's not the be all end all. Hi, Kendra's journey. So you're being chased by someone. Yeah, you're trying to escape. So you're trying to escape. You've got a fear of failure. You've got a physical requirement. You're being chased. So failing is not an option here. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So basically what you've got is you got your classic fear of failure. And what's making you feel failure is because you're afraid that something really, really horrible and bad is going to happen if you don't succeed. Yeah, you had that dream from 6 to 11. Yeah, so it's like, if you don't pass, okay, if you don't do well in school, we're going to sell you to the gypsies. Right? Parents accidentally or otherwise, I'm not blaming parents, and it's just a great starting point for the conversation. Things can happen in your world. If you don't do well on this test, you may have to repeat the grade. So you've got, at that age, there's all this incentive to do well. I used to get angry when people would say you wake up before you hit the ground in a nightmare. Oh no, you don't fucking wake up before you hit the ground. I have hit the ground. There used to be a thing that said that if you hit the ground, if you dream of falling and you hit, I don't know what's going on. This is just flipping that one. Not that I have a problem with your comment, Melissa, but I didn't even click that, so I don't know what's going on. So that might be something that we have to that we might. Yeah, more sewing fuck ups, please. Absolutely, Moira. I was doing reading class and my thread jammed in just the right way, so I had to fix it. It was fine, but I didn't cause the fuck up for a change. That was a bonus. But anyway, yeah, I thought gypsies were an issue only in my country. Parents, I kid you not, I've seen parents say some really problematic shit to their kids and then can't figure out why their kids are having nightmares or anxious or this or that. And it's like, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Like, but thing is that, yeah, you're having a dream like that from the age of 6 to 11. You've got, for starters, at around the age of 5 or 6, that's when parents sit their kids down and go, okay, I need you to tidy your room, to start doing some chores. I need this, I need that, I need this. You're in school now, so you're getting expectations thrown at you from a million different directions, and you're just a kid and don't know what happens. What happens if I don't succeed? Right? It's like, oh, so the dream itself was literally this is my assumption right now, right this minute. The monster at between the ages of 6 and 11, the monster is the great unknown of what happens if I'm not a good kid or a good student or a good whatever it is that the adults in my world want me to be. It's very stereotypical. A lot of kids have similar dreams to that, and the lucky ones have it as a recurring thing and get really freaked out by it. But yeah, I'm going to sell you to the circus. I'm going to put you on a train to nowhere. I'm going to sell. I don't think I ever actually heard sell you to the gypsies. That was one that I don't think that was one. But we're gonna give you away. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. The boogeyman. We had the boogeyman. The boogeyman's gonna come and get you, right? So it's like that is probably got a lot to do with that particular dream, because kids' dreams are a lot more simplified. But also kids' dreams are more simplified. But the unfortunate reality is kids' fears are a lot more simplified and intense too. So there's that. I'm going to flip over here for a minute. Oh, I should have done that. Okay. So how to interpret your dreams. This is an article from Psych Central. Can I share that? Sometimes I read, sometimes I get talking so fast. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah. Well, see, this is the thing. You watch a scary movie and have a nightmare. Who is surprised, right? But then you have then you have a nightmare like Melissa's, and you're like, wait a second, like what horror movie was based on climbing up some stairs that got weird? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then there's the dreams that come true. When I was a kid, I had a dream. I think I mentioned this already. When I was a kid, I had a dream. In the dream, we lived in this apartment, right? And so my sister and I had the one bedroom. In my dream, there was these other kids living in the bedroom. They looked a lot like my cousins, but they weren't. And they were playing, and it was somebody's birthday, and they were playing this game with some matches. And the parents weren't around, of course, because that's in dreams. So they heard a noise. Oh, parents are coming. So they put the matches they threw the matches behind the bed. Okay. And I had this dream a lot. I had this dream so many times that I just expected it. I had this dream so bad that more than a couple of different times, I literally got up in the middle of the night and went looking out the window to make sure there was no fire. A few months after we moved out, my parents are like, da 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 da. Oh, hey, that apartment we used to live in. Yeah, there was a fire in the bedroom. There was two little boys, and they were playing with matches and put them under the bed. That freaked me out for a good long time. So basically, I was having a dream about something that was going to happen that had nothing. I was having a location-based dream because we were living there. But it didn't. It happened to the next people that moved in there, and that's where their kids were sleeping, and they had literally been playing games with matches. I don't, apparently there was some sort of a birthday connection. It's so long ago now that I'm assuming that it was somebody's. I'm assuming that they had stolen the matches from somebody lighting birthday candles or something. I don't know, but yeah, the dream happened. The dream happened. The basics of the dream were pretty much like I dreamed it. The kids were playing with matches in the bedroom. The bed that was closest to the window was set on fire. Everybody got out and everybody was fine. But yeah, if the kids had it was exactly as basically everything as described in the article was exactly as I dreamt it. The bed was over here. This is where the flames were coming up, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was a premonition. I have been trying to think of that word for days. Yeah, but I had a premonition dream, which we have those too. So let's sort out we have our exploring natural and normal fears and anxieties. We have the repetitive dreams, trying to remind us of things that we need to know about life, the universe, and everything. We have premonition dreams. We have do you believe that you can receive messages from the deceased in dreams? I believe that you can. I've got a couple of relatives who say that that's exactly what happened to them. So yeah, predictive dreaming. Well, yeah, predictive dreaming. The thing is that I think we are very capable of predictive dreaming on a regular basis. I think that's where some of our deja vu comes from. I have had deja vu. Oh, I dreamt that, and you don't remember it until the deja vu happens. You go, oh, I had a dream about that. I do that all the time. And for a lot of it's just simple, basic things, right? So it's like, oh, deja vu. And it's like, that's a coincidence. That's not real. That's not real. That's not a coincidence. Like, why do I remember dreaming about it then? I get deja vu a lot, but at the moment in the dream itself may not seem very remarkable at all. And then it's like, oh, well, that's just a dream, whatever. That's just weird. That's just a dream. 6 months later, it's like, I was dreaming about that. But yeah, I do think that we can get messages from the deceased in dreams, because I think that when we're dreaming, that is when our minds are the most open. Because when we're awake, we're dealing with the day-to-day shit that goes on around us, right? When I'm awake, I'm like cranking my tunes, doing some sewing, doing whatever. Yeah. I have thoughts on that. I'll get back to that in a second. But yeah, I do think that, like, we always talk about Halloween is when the veil is thinnest and stuff like that. But when we're asleep, if you want to think of it as a veil, when we're asleep is when the veil is thinnest, because our minds aren't distracted with the day-to-day shit that we have to take care of. So all of our mental capacity is available for that. Not that we fall asleep and our entire brain wakes up, but I will say that the night before Princess Diana died, I dreamt I was talking to her in a graveyard about the paparazzi. Then we went to McDonald's for McDonald Land cookies. Months after she died, I dreamt I was in a park and Princess Diana was in a horse-drawn cart. She told me she was happy but worried about her boys. I will tell you right now, I do think that dreams like that are real. Like, the night before Princess Diana died, I think dreams like that are real premonitions. I think that it's kind of hard to describe. I think because you don't know whether you're just dreaming about somebody. Oh, I admire and respect this person, and then you dream about them, right? You don't know whether it was premonition until it comes true. You will never recognize, not never, but you very rarely recognize a premonition dream until after the fact and go, oh, I dreamt that. See, I think that, okay, Princess Diana is a good example. She had a major impact on the world. At the time, British royalty was still very much respected. The fact that her and her husband had separated but not divorced, and he was already, hi, Robin. Oh, that's okay. Napping is good. Napping is always good. So I think premonition dreaming, we can have a premonition about anyone or anything. Somebody who like she was in the media, she was on people's minds, because I think that in our dreaming state, we have access to everything all at once, everywhere, because the mental state, the mental state, the dreaming state, the we're not awake state, doesn't give a shit about time, distance, whoever. Like there's all kinds of people in all kinds of circles that say we are all connected, right? So this person is in the media, there's issues, there's shit going on. So for those who are sensitive, which clearly Barb is, it's like being able to have a premonition about a celebrity that you've never met makes sense. Is it common? We don't know. Honestly, how many people are in a community or a situation where they could talk about it openly and not be ridiculed? If you go to your church, if you're a religious person and you go to your local church and say, "Oh, I had a premonition that Princess Diana was going to die," it's like, "Oh, no, you must have a dream." That was a long time ago. You probably just had a dream 2 days later and got confused, right? People, dreams are multi-layered. So being able, I told a friend and my mom about the dream. That friend and I were at mom and dad's the next day. Mom came out and told us Di died and my knees almost buckled. Yeah. It's I think we have a degree of spiritual. Okay, they talk about auras and stuff like that, right? So if you put 6 drops of water in a container, then you have 6 drops of water. Now you pour in the other billions of drops of water that represents every other human being on the planet, and now you've got a single solid thing that everything is connected to everything else. And I do believe that. So that's my perspective. And obviously, guys, tell me your perspectives. Tell me in the chat, tell me below. That's fine. Dreams, I think, are always multi-layered. I have had basic generic dreams that seem to mean absolutely nothing. And then a month, a week later, a week later, it's happening and I'm going, oh, wow, deja vu, that happened. Okay. It's like, some people might ridicule, but most people are fascinated, but most people are fascinated, but I think most people that do not have any, people that are not in touch with anything spiritual about themselves are just like, oh, that was a really weird coincidence. It's like, coincidences happen. Most people just don't believe it's possible. Yeah, I love dreaming. I think it's cool whenever I have a really cool dream. I think it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I said I was going to go over here. I found an article, and did I do it right? No, I still haven't done it right. Let me see what I got here. Yeah, I think they're in denial. They're afraid. I think there's a whole lot of I'm not sure if fear is quite the right word, but yeah, they got something going on. They just don't want to deal with it, right? But then again, if you've had a particularly problematic dream, and then you listen to somebody else's dream and go, "Oh, I think that's real. Oh, that's really cool. I believe you." Then if I believe you, then I have to believe that my dream has merit. And if my dream scares the living shit out of me, I don't want to believe that. And I do think that there's a bit of that going on. I think that like Melissa having that dream about going up the stairs and stuff like that. Now, take her away from any community that has an acceptance of spirituality of any kind, which we do, and take her out of that community, and she's going to go, I don't want to talk about this like ever again because I don't want to deal with this. Okay, do I have it? Okay. I don't know if anybody wants to read along, but I'm just going to go over. I found this, and I haven't looked at it yet, so I have no idea if I'm going to make myself angry. See, it did it again. Oh, I think I see what I'm doing. Okay. I keep accidentally bringing up comments, and I'm not sure if it's me or something's extra sensitive on the thing today. So dream interpretation can offer new perspectives into the nature of your mind, but it isn't backed by research and might be best practiced with the help of a psychotherapist. I'm going to disagree with that right off the bat, because I totally get that there are some fields of psychotherapy that are very, very interested in what you're dreaming. But unless you're exploring your inner self through your dreams is a valid practice, but I don't think therapists are really in a position to say, this dream did predict the future. I believe you. I think a psychotherapist would be more about, okay, so you're taking this coincidence as proof that you can see the future. Different flavor, right? Dreams may reveal information about your emotions and thoughts, although in ways open to interpretation. Now, that's true. I've already been saying that for the last hour, right? A good starting point for dream analysis is identifying common symbols and understanding what they might mean to you specifically. That's what matters. That is where I'm sitting at when it comes to dream interpretation, because I know some basics are it's fairly easy to say that if your dream is that somebody's out to get you, that's a pretty basic thing to dream about for a lot of people. And I've dreamt that at certain points in my life. I think we all have, right? But you need to, like I said, if you love spiders and have 6 as a pet, then a spider in your dream is going to mean something very different than it would in mine. Okay, interpreting your dreams is likely to result in better results when you work with a psychotherapist specializing in dream analysis. I don't know anything about anyone who is even a little bit involved in that sort of field, so I don't know that I could personally agree with that. But then again, if you're seeing if you are somebody who is seeing a psychotherapist for other reasons, then it's probably worth discussing. Did I say that right? I don't want to shit on anybody, but if you're like the situation that I'm in, where I just think this is amazing and fascinating, and I'm happy and confident with where my knowledge and stuff currently is, I don't think I would tell anybody, oh, you have dreams, you need to see. I don't think I would do that, right? What is dream interpretation? To interpret your dream is to identify specific elements and try to understand if they hold any significance to you. Yes. It has been used as a therapeutic tool. See, this is my problem, is that I definitely agree with that. It may serve as a self-awareness resource when digging deeper into your subconscious and emotional state, and when you're working on finding peace of mind. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I do believe that it's more of a personal journey than a journey to be shared with a therapist. But then again, it depends on why you feel therapy is beneficial to your life, and that's your own decision, right? Both Jungian theory and Gestalt therapy, for example, have included elements of dream analysis in their therapeutic approaches. Jungian considers individual symbols of each dream to be of great importance. These symbols may relate to your childhood experiences, spiritual perspectives, or culture. Now, that I can agree with. I can definitely agree with that. And like I said, I think it varies too much by the individual. I think that like, I like to think that I'm good at interpreting dreams, but I can only go so far unless I can only go so far. If somebody says, I dreamt about a blah, I'm not going to go, that means that. I can say, this is what the stereotype is. What does it mean to you? This sort of thing, but you can't really. Yeah, it's always selective. We need to feel people out before we tell them anything about predictive thoughts. And well, for me personally, I don't very often recognize that it's a predictive thought until after the fact. Because I mean, I don't know. I usually, for me, it's small. It's interesting things, but usually for me, it's relatively small. Yeah, for example, dreaming of a red hat lying on the floor of your high school could represent a present concern about your appearance or a need for social appreciation, something that you may have also felt when you were a teen, which makes it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. See, for me, a red hat lying on the floor of your high school is like, okay, well, were you somebody that dropped your shit a lot? Like, what do you think about that? What do you feel about that? So the actual symbol itself and what you think and feel about that can change on the situation. So, you know, a red hat lying on the floor of your high school might mean something very different than a red hat lying in the middle of an intersection, right? It's different. It's always different. And it depends entirely on your personal perspectives. Okay, a large aspect of dream interpretation considers your associations and what each symbol means to you personally. Okay, I'm 100% on board for that. In that sense, interpreting your own dreams can be very effective, and I think that's the thing, because the biggest part of the problem is learning to interpret your own dreams. I can interpret sections of my own dreams pretty easily. If I'm having a predictive dream, it's harder because I'm not necessarily sure if I'm dreaming predictively or if that's just an element that I'm putting in my dream for the purposes of whatever else. But with practice and time, you can start interpreting most of your own dreams yourself with a pretty high degree of accuracy. Like I said, predictive dreams, unless it's like really, really obvious, can be very easy to miss. And then you recognize it later. As it happens, you go, oh, I had a dream about that. It's like, okay. But I think that's your brain also telling you, like, you can do this. You just need practice. I know that's what my brain is telling me. I used to have dreams come true all the time, and I would have certain dreams, and I would know that's going to happen. It's like, oh, this is going to happen. I wonder when. And then I kind of stopped. I scared myself out of it, right? So that becomes a thing. Okay. So contrary to Jungian analysis, Gestalt dream interpretation may not be about working with specific symbols, but rather identifying the aspects of your personality that may need attention and bring awareness to them. See, I think it's both. Now that's my perspective. And of course, I want to hear you guys' perspectives as well. I'm the one that can babble on and don't have to type. So I can say way more shit than you guys can, but I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking. And if anybody thinks I'm full of shit, tell me that too. I'm happy to discuss anything. What do dreams reveal about your mental health? Honestly, not much. A lot of times your dreams are not going to reveal a lot about your mental health that you don't already know. They might reveal areas that you are, okay, that's my opinion. We're talking about my opinion right now. You might know that, okay, like Barb with the whole bathroom thing, right? You might be aware, and your dream is telling you should put more attention on dealing with that, or more attention on being aware, more attention on the fact that you deserve space too, that you don't have to step away. You don't have to make yourself like I said, Barb's dream is about a dirty bathroom and going in and it's not there. And it's like, so your dream is about recognizing that you deserve better. You already recognize that you deserve better. Whatever, in situations where you feel like you're not being treated well, you already recognize it. So it's not going to reveal anything about whatever's going on with you. It's going to help you to reveal, hey, you're backsliding on this. Hey, you need more focus on this. But it's in my experience, it's very rarely going to reveal things to you. The relationship between your mental health and what you dream hasn't been established yet, but some evidence suggests that there is indeed a connection. I think there is a connection. I just don't think it's revealing things. I think it's helping you. I think It's revealing where your focus should be, but it's not revealing things that you don't already know. A 2018 study indicated that someone's waking mental well-being might influence the content of dreams. And again, absolutely, absolutely. I totally believe that. For example, researchers found that experiencing peace of mind before falling asleep was linked to a higher chance of pleasant dream experiences. On the other hand, anxiety typically led to a negative dream effect. Okay, that part's true. But here's the thing. If you had a great and amazing day and then experience some anxiety just before going to bed, you can have an amazing dream because it's your dream state reminding you that whatever anxiety ended your day, don't let it take away from the great things that happened during the day. And on the other side of the coin, going to bed in a good mood, your brain may still want to break down and decompress the shitty things that happened to you earlier in the day. The odds are better that your state of mind when you go to sleep will help you have a good or a bad dream, but it is by no means a guarantee because it's very much my personal opinion related to what you are thinking and feeling throughout the day or days or whatever situation is happening in your world. Some authors suggested that based on these preliminary findings, dreams have the potential of being mental health markers, giving you insights into your mental well-being. I think that's probably true. I think it may not be true in the way that this seems to imply, but absolutely. Like, it can definitely, your dream state brings to your attention the things that you need to be working on, is something that does happen. And since dreams do involve emotional, so I'm not completely disagreeing with all of this stuff. And since dreams do often involve emotional responses, it's also been hypothesized that they may help you process and manage emotions. Yeah, I think that's true. And that's normal garden variety dreaming. Yep. That on many important occasions in my life before I fall asleep, I ask them to show me what the outcome will be, and they're always spot on. And that is true. That one, I'm just going to leave that up. that is something that you can learn to do. You can definitely learn to do that just by like when you meditate. Yeah, dreams bring to the surface things that we are not letting ourselves deal with, or things that we're avoiding, or quite often some of the more adventurous dreams are kind of bringing to the surface the fear that you can't do it. Oh, sure you can. This is how you do it. Or this is what you're afraid of. Now wake up and recognize that there is no, okay, like the stairs dream, right? Now, when you wake up, you're going to realize stairs don't do that and there is no monster. That's the ideal. That's the thing, right? So you explore the ridiculousness of the dream, or you explore the reality of what the dream is trying to tell you. And it's very much, and like I said, it's like any other spiritual practice. It's incredibly personal. Yeah. Setting intentions before bed really works for remembering dreams, having lucid dreams, etc. Yeah, I don't try too hard one way or the other. I should start doing more of that because, yeah. But then again, I don't do much. I don't go anywhere. So it's fine. Lack of sleep may lead to mental health symptoms. That's true. Yeah, some experts believe there's a connection between your sleep cycle and your emotional state. I think there definitely is because it's all happening inside the same brain, right? I have this schmancy cup that's supposed to keep things warm, and I don't feel like it is. Maybe it's just running out of battery. How to interpret symbols in your dreams. So let's see. You can explore dream interpretations by becoming familiar with common symbols. These symbols may mean many things, so keeping context and personal significance in mind is recommended. This is why, hi, it's me, Brand. This is why I recommend if I'm not crapping on dream interpretation books. They can help you get some insight. They can help you get some insights on on the generalities. So if you are having the same, okay, like a monster chasing you up the stairs, you can probably find that in a dream interpretation book. So it's like, if that agrees with how you, if their interpretation agrees with how you felt about it when it happened, then that is, oh, that's what's going on. I have Shayla snoring behind me. It doesn't keep my coffee warm because Lisa's always running down the battery. It was on the charger, but if it's not on just right, then it charges way too slowly. So that's okay. I'm probably switching out to a cold drink next. It's not horrible. But anyway, so yeah, a dream interpretation book is not a bad thing. And there's websites online that you can look up. There's websites online that you can look. Let me just grab one. Maybe we can play with. The unfortunate problem with these books, the unfortunate problem with dream interpretation books isn't that I think that they're right or wrong. That's not it. It's that we have a dream, we look it up, and we decide that's what it must mean, and therefore we try to bend our personal experience, our personal perspectives into what the book says. And you can't really do that. And, dream interpretation is very intuitive. So considering, oh, there you go. Let me just copy and paste that. Let's see if I can get it to show up in the chat. Consider asking these questions when identifying symbols in your dreams. What was the symbol or object doing in your dream? What did it look like? Where was it? How did you feel about it while you were dreaming? How do you feel about it now when you think about it? What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of this symbol in your dream? There we go. Did it go properly? Oh, it did go. Okay. So that agrees with everything that I think. Now, I think it also, if you're dreaming about a person, place, or situation, like, then it's like, who was in a dream? Who was in a dream? What does that person mean to you in the real world? What did that person mean to you in the dream? I made that example about, like, if you have a crush on somebody and you dream about that person, right? If you dream about somebody you have a crush on, but in the dream it could be used as an option of the dream. I think, like I said, that people get these books and then go, that is the only thing it can mean. And it's like, dreaming is a very personal, intuitive experience. Interpreting the dream, very personal, very intuitive. So obviously, it's like, what could that possibly mean? But if I have no idea good night, Kendra. Oh, Kendra, sorry. If I have no idea what a mug is, then dreaming about one means nothing to me. So looking it up, it's like, that was just background. That was probably just background fluff. I mean, I do agree that we're all interconnected. I'm fidgety today, and I don't know why. I'm still wearing my jammies too, which is nice. But so that's its own thing. That is its own thing. But there's so many other questions that you could be asking, that you could be going through. Here are some of the most common symbols in dreams and what they can mean. So let's see. Houses and rooms can represent unexplored aspects of yourself. That's fair, but why were you in the room? Who is in the room with you? Is this a room that you enjoy being in? Like, if I'm having a dream about sewing and I'm in the dining room, this is our dining area. That's going to mean something different to me because this is where I do creative shit, right? Now, the room itself may be insignificant. So when you look it up and it says, oh, this means an unexplored aspect of myself, it's like, that's not always the case, right? It's very personal. For example, now, okay, I should probably read the whole thing first. If the house or room is frightening, it can represent an aspect of yourself that you may feel fearful about exploring. Looking into other symbols in the same dream scene may help you develop a possible personal meanings. Now, the interesting thing is, we can make, okay, I just read that. Houses and rooms can represent unexplored aspects of yourself. For example, if the house or room was frightening, it could represent an aspect of yourself that you may feel fearful about exploring. Now, the hindbrain misses nothing. It's like, oh, so now you might find that as a symbol being injected into some of your future dreams. Now that you're the hindbrain that sees all, knows all, remembers all, has, oh, well, if this is a connection and this is a message that you need to be aware of, this is something that might find its way into your dreams now that you have found a connection. That can happen. Dog. As a source of affection for many people in the waking state, dogs can represent a need for love or affection. If you're fearful of dogs or dreams If you're fearful of dogs or dreaming of an aggressive dog, it may mean you're sensing danger about a specific situation or person, or you may feel hurt by someone and haven't yet become aware of it. But see, dreaming about a dog representing a need for love and affection, or it could be the exact opposite. There's an opposite to that. Dreaming about a dog could be representing that you have all the love and affection that you need and you're happy and you're content, because it depends on what you're thinking about while you're having the dream. Yeah, teeth can be symbols of aggression, assertiveness, or your bite. Dreaming of teeth falling out may indicate you're experiencing intense stress or anxiety. It could also mean you're fearful or concerned about a lack of control and power in your life. And okay, teeth teeth in aggressive ways, absolutely, that makes sense. That's logical. That's logical. I don't think anybody's not going to see that. As a matter of fact, I was telling Lisa about this, dreaming about losing your teeth. Okay, in my family, the dental health outlook of my family is pretty poor. My father-in-law, well, I thought he was my dad. He lost his teeth by 35. My brother-in-law lost his teeth like by 30, I think it was. Oh, hello, Michelle. I've probably seen it. I don't have any dream interpretation books, because I used to kind of look. I used to be right into that, and then after realizing that most of it just doesn't relate to me, I just stopped. But like, okay, in my family, all of my aunts and uncles lost their teeth. On my dad's side, all of them lost their teeth by the time they were mid-30s, maybe 40 at the outside. My brother-in-law lost his teeth in his 30s. I have a cousin, his wife lost her teeth, all of them, when she was 18. She had some gum disease. If I'm dreaming about losing your teeth, I'm dreaming about health type shit. I am not dreaming about a loss of control. For me, it's got a more of a health slash not necessarily self-care but for me it's more health related than anything else. It's not going to be about I'm afraid I don't have any power in my life. If I dream of falling out, it's like I'm dreaming about, oh man, I'm dreaming about being afraid of bad health in general, right? And that's where things get strange. Guns. Weapons such as guns typically involve themes surrounding personal power or control. Dreaming of using weapons may be linked to the desire to hurt someone or have them disappear from your life. If you're being hurt in the dream, it can mean you feel vulnerable in a situation or with a person. Say it again. I don't agree with that one. I don't agree with that one because I'm up here in Canada that's always had gun control. I've never had a gun in my house. Never going to have a gun in my house. But my dad and his brothers and lots of my relatives, they were hunters. So if I'm dreaming of a gun, it's not about personal power and control. It's about providing. Nobody in my family ever used a gun for protection. They used a gun to provide food. So now, dreaming of using weapons linked to the desire to hurt someone, or have them, if you're being hurt in the dream, it could mean you feel vulnerable in a situation with a person. Now, if I would not have, if I had a dream like that, and again, this is my personal experience, if I had a dream about using a gun to get rid of somebody, blah, 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 then for me, that would be that there is some aspect about that person that I'm not feeling vulnerable, but I am feeling that they are a threat. I mean, that's my personal thing. I'm saying it in reverse, but it could mean you feel vulnerable in a situation with a person, but I wouldn't, if I was feeling vulnerable with a person, I would not have a dream about guns. Guns are not part of anything that has entered my life, except, as I said, oh, hey, your uncle got a moose. You want some moose meat? Okay. It's providing, right? And now when you go down into a different, guns, what would Freud say? But that's the thing, right? It depends on what's going on with you and why it's going on. And something that would seem very, very obvious on the surface. If you have a gun, if you have a lot of countries, especially the States, you're allowed to own a gun for your personal protection. If you own a gun for your personal protection, then that is probably a very reasonable way to interpret seeing a gun in your dream. We don't do that here. It's just not part. It's just not really part of the culture up here at all. And yet this is a primary example that they're using to make their point. People who appear in your dreams may reflect parts of your own personality. Analyzing these dreams may help you think about what that person is doing in the dream and what part of yourself you think may be shown to you through the other person. See, now I think that's wrong. Usually, now that can be true some of the time, but I think that when you're having a dream about friends or family, then there is often some aspect about your relationship with that person that needs exploring, or like, it's not about that part of yourself. Like if you are having a dream about like you got to get off your ass and get some shit done. So you have a dream about the relative who's always busy getting things done. So it's not about you. It's about something that you need to do, but it's not about who you are. It's about you're analyzing. You're like, okay, well, this guy always gets some stuff done. He's fine. I need to be more like him. But it's I'm not saying it very well. I'm not articulating properly. But it's not necessarily a part of your personality. It's a part of, so you can be examining tangible or intangible aspects of your relationship with that person. And that's most of the time what a dream involving friends and family is about. It's very rarely about your own inner workings, unless like I said, unless there's something going on with you and it's like, oh, you know what? I need to manifest blah like so-and-so does. So, but that's not that most of the time you are literally examining that other person. Like, and it's usually thoughts and emotions about your relationship with that person or with people that are like that person. Like you have a coworker, you have a shitty coworker and he reminds you of your cousin who used to bully you. You're going to dream about your cousin. It's like, well, how did I handle that shit with my cousin being an asshat? Oh yeah, well, if I try that on this guy, it might work. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with sorting out a problem. Water may be a symbol for your emotions. If the water appears still and murky, it could represent a disconnect from your emotional state or the need to explore your own emotions. Yeah, see, that can be true. Yes, everything is multi-layered. Everything. It's all multi-layered. And I do think that a lot of the dream interpretation stuff that we see is it's simplified, which makes sense. It has to be simplified to make sense, because my associate, you can do 10 symbols. My association with that 10 symbol. Okay, here are 10 symbols that showed up in this dream. Tell me what that dream means to you. And no two people are going to come up with the same meaning, because every single dream is personal to who you are, what you need in life, where you're going in life. It's personal. It is way too personal for this to work. Like water may be a symbol of emotions. If the water appears still and murky, well, that's where you go to get catfish, because that's where catfish tend to prefer like dirtier, murkier water. Okay. It really now tarot people. Okay, what does the water-based suits? What do water cards mean in tarot? Right. So if you're a tarot person, and I don't know what I somebody has to tell me what water means when you find it. Water. Somebody has to tell me what water means when you find it in a reading. But because I'm the forever noob in the room. Thing is that anybody here, right now, if you have a dream involving water, you are almost guaranteed to translate it into whatever water symbol means the most to you in tarot, because that's your personal association. So I'm just going to skip. Okay. How do you analyze your dreams? Interpreting your dreams takes patience, practice, and an open mind. Absolutely. We already know that. That's not a surprise to anybody. It may be a good idea to remember that you give meaning to your own dreams by identifying symbols and thinking about what they mean to you personally. Fair enough. Try to recall your dreams every day. Keep a dream diary. Telling someone about your dreams can help. Depends on who you're telling. Try to identify symbols and associations. Oh, cool. What did I do? I closed it. Yeah. The water on the moon card relates to the unconscious. Yeah. So it's like, so if you dream about water, you're not going to be worried about your current emotional state. You're going to be thinking about, oh, there's stuff going on that I'm not aware of yet that I got to find out about. It's not connecting. It's not the same. This is weird. Oh, sorry. My camera is, I am not happy with my camera. I think because my face is more fuzzy than the background, but I think my glasses, I think the reflection from my glasses. Oh, Kate has to go. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out with us. But no, I think the most important thing is to pay attention to what's in the room with you. Pay attention to the things. Pay attention to the things that are going on, but pay attention to what those things mean to you. Like, I mean, if there can be 400 tarot decks behind me I can have a dream that if I have a dream that I'm back in the bedroom where Lisa keeps all of her tarot decks, of course, there's going to be a ton of tarot decks in the room with me. So if tarot decks let's just look that up. If tarot decks, Dream Moods Dictionary. Ooh. I don't care. Go, go, go. What is this doing? Oh, I gotta go get my pop now. I need a cold drink now. I got a crappy site that's not working. Okay. Come on. Dream Dictionary. Ooh, okay. Dreams that start with a T. This is not a good one. Okay, this is apparently dream interpretation is not popular anymore. Numbers. Dreaming of the number 1, dreaming of the number 2. No, I put in tarot deck. To see if I could get it to come up, and it's not coming up. So I guess I don't get to do that. Hey, Blue, I'll be right back. I'm just getting my cold drink now. Look, caffeine free. I'm still interpreting dreams. See, I gotta scroll up now and see if I can find that thing that I just put in. Yeah, what was a symbol or object doing in your dream? What did it look like? Where was it? How did you feel about it while you were dreaming? How do you feel now that you think of it? What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of this symbol in your dream? That was the last one that. See, the thing is, my problem is that for me, what I do, you have to look at the dream as a whole. You have to look at the dream as a whole, and then from there, sort it all out. So if you're having a dream, at least, like I said, this is what works for me. But if you're having a dream, you can't just go, oh, I dreamt in my dream there was a clock and it was. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to it right now because I'm repeating myself now. Okay, so in your dream, I seem to travel to other countries and helping children in need. I'm like the one who tries to bring back order after like a war or feeding hungry children. Why? Okay, so in your dream, so when you're having these dreams, how are you feeling about that? Because that matters. How you feel about it matters. Are you excited to be doing this? Are you feeling burdened to be doing this? Do you feel like you're succeeding? Right? Yeah. So when you have these readings, like, I feel like I did good work. I mean, on the surface, right this second, that is basically your inner desire to be helpful to other people, to do good, to do good, to bring good, and to leave an impression. Like, you're going to other countries, but it's also interesting because in the dream you're going to other countries. I feel calm during the dream. How do you feel? Like, is there anything in particular that keeps coming to the surface? Have you ever had one of those dreams? Have you ever had a dream where it's this person but they look different? Like, are the same people showing up, even if they look different in the dream? Are the same people showing up over and over again? You feel calm in the dream, like you've been doing good work. And are you going in the dream? It's always like same people. So it doesn't matter. So the scene can change, but the people themselves are kind of the same. Like if it was Billy in your dream last week, Billy might look different today in this dream, but it's still the same kid. That's kind of what I'm asking, just to make sure we're saying the same thing. And have you had any other dreams that involve post-war scenarios or wartime scenarios? Okay. I'm just going to sit here and burp for a while. That's kind of where World War II was an amazing event, and this kind of dream is actually very, very common. The other time I was in a cafe and fed this brother and sister who are like 8 and 5. Are you in healthcare now? Is that something you want? Is that something you've ever wanted? Healthcare or any sort of profession that cares for other people? Is that what you're doing now, or is that something you've always wanted to do but couldn't for one reason or another? Pardon me, guys. I've just been super, super thirsty lately, and I'm not fighting it. But that's in your dream. Are you in any of those types of industries to do that in the real world? And is that something you've ever wanted to do? See, it's interesting. Like what Moira pointed out, and I do believe this happens. See, this is what gets things confusing. I do think that your dream. I believe in reincarnation, and I think sometimes we get to visit. Obviously, it's not visiting, but sometimes we get to see snapshots of what that was like in our dreams, and because dreams are. Anybody heard of that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once? That's what I think. That's a state that you can access from your dreams. Access it easily, not so easily, but it can definitely be a state that you can access in your dreams. So sometimes in your dreams you're seeing snapshots. Like if you in a past life, yes, if something feels comfortable and familiar, it's really, really interesting when I have a dream where I'm, yeah, that was a really freaky movie. But in the movie, okay, it's kind of funny. The movie actually simplifies, like, I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but in the movie, the way things happen in that movie kind of really, it kind of, they did a good enough job of simplifying a bigger topic that you see in like quantum physics and stuff. Real world, I wanted to be a doctor to save babies when I was little, all the way till high school. Didn't feel good enough, so I became an architectural engineer using environmental psychology. Yeah, so basically you may be having, this could be several things all at once. So this is already, helping people is already something that you want to do. The idea that you have to go, because in your first comment here, you travel to other countries. Now this is the whole, I can't make this, this is like, you wanted to be a doctor all the way up to high school, but you couldn't do it because this is the wrong time. This is the wrong place. I have to be somewhere else. I have to be doing something else. So this is the whole, that can be a bit of a, that can be your brain kind of like going, well, yeah, you could have been those things if you were somewhere else. You can't be that here and now. And because don't forget, everything everywhere all at once. You could be mixing up, your brain is more than happy to take 5,000 things and throw it all in the blender and then let you freaking sort it out through a dream, right? I'm kind of thinking that with a dream like this, we might be looking at two things. What did I do? Come on. Okay. It's not clicking very well for me and I don't like it. Okay. So there could be two things going on. I'm kind of leaning towards Myra. Apparently you're Myra now, Moira. Too many people with M names. I'm going to get bitter in a minute. Okay, so Edgar Cayce, we need to talk about Edgar Cayce, okay? Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, he is a psychic from like the 1950s, blah, blah, right? And he says that if you were a doctor in a past life, that you may be drawn, then you will very likely be drawn. That you have a series of lives, right? Things that happen in your most recent few lives can have an impact on what you want to be in this life. So seeing a snapshot of that, seeing a snapshot of what a past life looked like in dreams makes a lot of sense. So where I'm thinking, I think this is going, and I think this is two things happening at the same time, and that is that you're seeing snapshots of what a previous life was like, which in the grand scheme of things, World War II, let's look at that alone in World War II, right? Before, during, and after the war, that was years and years of bullshit that involved, like, how many people died in that war? I don't want to go look it up because I don't want to know. But okay, so that involved a lot of people. So a lot of people in current society quite likely have, it's very, very likely that most of us in our past life had some experiences in that wartime era. So seeing a snapshot from a previous life makes absolute sense. That influence from the past life making you want to be in that type of helping field now makes sense. And this whole idea that you have to be there. You have to be there. Like in your dream, you are going a very long way away. You are, what did you say here? Yeah, you travel to other countries. Traveling to an other country may not be a big deal, but traveling lots and lots, that's not easy, right? So I'm thinking that you're getting snapshots from a past life. Edgar Cayce made it very, very clear that experiences of past life can show up in the next life. If you were a doctor in the past life, you want to enter the medical field in some fashion in this life. So that makes sense. Yeah. So I think you're seeing a snapshot of a past life, and this whole idea, I wanted to be a doctor to save babies, didn't feel good enough, so I became an architectural. So basically, it's like the situation that allowed you to become a doctor in a past life doesn't exist in this life. That's why you have to go to other countries to help. You have to get outside of who you are in this life to get back to that. I think I said that right. If I didn't say it right, just ask. I'm happy to clarify, because I do think that dreams, this is the thing. Your dream, your sleeping state does not care about time or space or existence as we understand it. Your dream state can look at past lives and it can look forward to your next life. Now, for most of us, that would be so foreign. I don't know if foreign is the right word, but getting a snapshot getting a snapshot from a past life can make sense. Oh, cool. Dragonfly Crystal and others on YouTube who do free past life readings. There's no way I could do it. I do not do past life stuff. I don't know how, but I do know that, yeah, you're minding your own business, having a dream about you being a worker building the pyramid. You might be looking at a past life flashback. You know what I mean? But it's interesting. And these types of, you want to be a doctor. So you're going to flash back into previous lives where you were in the helping / medical field. And I do think that that's what's going on there. I don't think there's a lot else to it. The traveling to I seem to travel to other countries and help children in need. I'm like the one who tries to bring back order, like after a war or feeding hungry children. So yeah, so you're having flashbacks to your previous lives. Okay, during World War II, women did not join the military, right? You could become they did not join you during World War II. As a woman, you would not be on the front lines, right? So if you in a past life were in the military or otherwise, and you were also a female at the time, you would not be in active duty. So you would not be going forward into any of the helping fields, like working with the Red Cross or stuff like that, until the war was over. And it's interesting because you're talking about going into restore order afterwards. So at a guess, I would say that you're flashbacking to a past life where you were a doctor or a nurse or something, probably working with an organization like the Red Cross, and probably as a female, where you went into or what do they call it, 4F? You couldn't join the military. You weren't healthy enough to be in the military, but you could join organizations like that. Yeah, Russian women fought in World War II, but the majority of women didn't. The majority of like women that joined groups like the Red Cross and stuff like that were usually, they were still in Europe, but they were behind the lines. I'm making generalizations because God knows it was a big enough war, and that wasn't the only one. Then we went for the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Congo War, the first and second Congo War. God knows there's always some war happening somewhere. So, but yeah, and that's, yeah, one dream I saved hundreds of people after a plane kind of crashed. I was able to manage them, and passengers were able to repair the plane to get it to fly. So yeah, so basically flashing back to dreams, flashing back to flashing, and of course your memories are never going to be never going to be like direct. They're going to be more indirect. But yeah, flashing back to a previous life where you played a part in helping to save people, either from the back, not from the front lines. You weren't a soldier on the front lines, but you were like helping rebuild after a war, is what sounds like the most obvious thing to me. But yeah, and I do think that, you wanted to be a doctor now, but now isn't what then was. So it didn't work out. So you still dream about it. You don't want to give up that dream. So maybe you're psyching yourself up for the next life. I had a dream once that I was a soldier in a war and I was terrified. Then I shot someone, followed the bullet, and then I was the person that was shot and died. That has a lot of pardon me, I'm trying not to burp. I have got okay. Next step is to once I get off the caffeine, the next step is to get off of pop in general, because whenever I drink something, I chug 2 or 3 gulp, 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 and I burp and all. I don't care. Anyway, so a dream like that on the surface can be, okay, those who live by the sword die by the sword. And I don't even remember where that is. That might even be something that's in the Bible. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. So put that in its perspective. So you're flashing back to a dream where you're a soldier, right? and then immediately flipping over into, I mean, you're flashing back to one lifetime when you were a soldier, flashing back to the very net to a similar lifetime where you were also a soldier and got killed in combat. So that, because your mind is not going to do this linear thing. Your mind is not going to, your mind does not have a beginning, middle, and an end. Your mind is like, here you go. So if you, I always take this thing, those who live by the sword die by the sword, and I have a different take on that. If you are a person lives by the sword, kills other people, right? Then if that is how you live your life in this life, then in your next life, you will be somebody who will, that's how you will die. So I think that's, you're seeing yourself in one lifetime, you were the soldier, in the next, well, you were the soldier in both, but in one lifetime, you were the one who killed people in war, and the other one, you were killed in war. Yeah, I believe that most dreams are just, the vast majority of your dreams are just your mind sifting and processing all your daily input. That, because don't forget, they've already done this. Your brain takes in okay, when you're looking at a room, I'm looking at the camera right now. I'm looking directly at the camera, right? But there is there's 4 pairs of scissors, there's 2 of those, there's some rulers, there's a whole bunch of pens. Your brain takes it all in and discards what you're not paying attention to. It's like your hearing. Your hearing takes in every sound in a room and discards the stuff that you're not using. Well, I mean, I can tell that my dog is over there snoring, but I'm not paying attention to it. So for the most part, I'm not noticing it, but my brain notices everything. Your brain is like a computer that's just absorbing it all and then flushing out what it doesn't need later. So yeah, maybe you couldn't kill another person and then the dream took the bullet instead. So that could be it too. I mean, it doesn't, just because it seems like that's what it could have been, that doesn't mean that's what it was. There are reports of people storming Normandy beaches, D-Day, million soldiers, that soldiers found dead on the beach never once fired their guns because they just didn't want to. I believe that most dreams are just your mind sifting and processing all your daily input, but that certain dreams are and feel deeply significant for different reasons, including stuff from past lives. Absolutely. Stuff from past, everything, everywhere, all at once. Stuff from past lives, stuff from lives that are to come, stuff from sorting out emotional situations that are happening around you right now, right this minute. All of it. Yeah, I tried to find a dream interpretation site, but those don't say. Dreaming of the number 2. Oh, that's what it's doing. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay. I found a website. I found a website called Dream Dictionary. But like I said, for some people, like this, the very first thing, dreams of heights, right? Well, if your dream is to go skydiving, dreaming of heights is going to be way more exciting than it is going to be for me to dream I'm standing on something way too high. Oh, bye, free spirit. Have a great weekend. Well, that reminds me, I suppose I got to think about getting out of here soon because I got my weekend to get ready for. We're not doing anything exciting, but I still haven't even put on pants today. I'm wearing pajama pants, but I haven't. Well, you guys are lucky I put a bra on today, so that's fine. I don't know. Anybody else have a different interpretation of that? I should be, because I should be. I'm just going to stop and start half sentences. It'll be fine. But if anybody else has a different thought or an idea, absolutely share it. I'd like to be right, but I don't have to be right every single time. I am very fidgety today. You guys notice I don't think I've sat still for more than a minute. But anyway, that is my take on dream interpretation. I think that there's way more to it. And something else, Edgar Cayce, maybe that's what we need to talk about next. Edgar Cayce was called the sleeping prophet. And one of the things that he said was that when you're in a dream state, you can access what's called the Akashic records, which is the record of every single thing. Had to answer the phone. That sucks when you have to miss that shit. But the Akashic records are basically the record of a person's entire existence, every life they've ever lived, every life they're going to live, all that shit, right? And one of the things that he said when he put himself into his trance, which is a sleep type state, that he could just walk in and go and look it all up, and he could look up anybody's, not just his own. So that's, yeah, I don't know what topic we're going to pick for next time. Yeah, we could do Edgar Cayce. I think he is just fascinating. I think it's absolutely amazing, some of the stuff that he's done. And like he even patented, have you ever had a dream that was a straight up lesson? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. I've had plenty of dreams that are like, do this or things are going to go bad. And I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's like, things went bad. It's like, I've absolutely had dreams where I need to do this now. If I don't do this, bad things are going to happen. And you can always tell, if I don't do this, bad things are going to happen. Well, I did the thing. Now I don't know if the bad thing, right? Like, yeah, castor oil pack. Yeah, let's do him next. Let's do Edgar Cayce next. I'm just going to put a little, you know what I do? I irritate the fuck out of Lisa. The bestest and easiest place for me to put a note right this second, because I'll notice it, is to put it in a Facebook message. So I just message her. And then once this is over, I'll swing back and I'll jot it down properly. But right now, right this minute, the best place for me to find something. But yeah, Edgar Cayce. That's a really great segue, because we're talking about dreams today based on a lot. Like you guys have got your own perspectives, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm the babbledy one sitting here, sharing most of my perspectives about it. But Edgar Cayce had a lot to say about all kinds of topics, including Atlantis, pyramids, aliens. He had a few things to say about aliens. Oh, Kaz, we're going to be good. Yeah, better late than never. We're going to be talking about Edgar Cayce next Friday. Good news. I don't know if it's good news or not, actually. I should check in. My sleep schedule has been readjusting all on its own without me doing anything. There's a reason. There's a reason for me bringing this up. Generally speaking, I schedule these for 2:00 because if I've got insomnia, I'm not getting up till noon. The last few days, I've been getting up like 10 a.m., which for me in my semi-retired, highly insomniac state is really, 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 really good. So if that keeps up, I might start scheduling these a little bit earlier, around 1:00. And I just want to make sure everybody has the heads up on that. If that's not working, I'm happy to stick with 2:00. Yeah, I don't know if it's awesome or not awesome. Sometimes I cycle into better sleeping patterns, and then sometimes I cycle right the fuck back out of it. So we'll see. Don't forget, anybody who's going, oh, poor piggy, don't forget that I work from home. I'm semi-retired, work from home, and I can stay up all night sewing if I want. It doesn't wake Lisa up. So the only thing that it's not affecting my insomnia, no longer impacts my day. Right? But if I continue to get up at a better time in the morning, I might start doing these a little bit earlier. Yeah, he did medical. Yeah, Edgar Cayce, one of the things that he started doing, yeah, naturopaths still use things he recommended, like castor oil. He had, I work from home, still want a good night's sleep. You know what? I've always been, late to bed, late to rise to begin with, even when I wasn't having issues. So it's like, it's not hurting me. It's not really hurting me one way or the other, but if it's going to impact my film, my going live schedule, that's going to impact it in coming in a little bit earlier. So we'll talk about, if I keep talking, I keep starting and stopping because I keep, I'm having a cycle. We'll talk about Edgar Cayce next week, and we'll just we'll do the same thing. We always do the same thing. It's fine. We'll talk about him next week. I think I've actually got a stream on him from before too, but we'll talk about him and talk about his dream state and make it a nice natural segue. So with that, I'm going to get going. Video games aren't going to play themselves. Actually, I'm going to get some work done. I don't know. I haven't decided, but we will do Edgar Cayce next week. And I'm probably going to be in earlier on in the week. I want to come in and do some readings. I have not cracked I I made that book for my tarot deck, and then haven't cracked it yet. So I want to get into some readings again soon. But we'll figure that out. And I'll see you guys next week. Friday for sure, Edgar Casey, whatever else I show up with in the meantime as well. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.